You, sitting at your spelled differently but pronounced the same, takes a portal that leads you. A man named Kale.
Default. Try that.
You. A man named Kale. You. A man named Kale. Yes. Spelled. Spelled. A man named Kale. Yes. Spelled differently but pronounced the same.
Is that working? No, I don't need... No! I don't need that, Twitch. I have to check my own channel. Alright, chat is working. Good. Well, the chat showing up on stream. I mean, also chat is working, but that's not what I was worried about. Is that how it was spelled? Oh, Kale. That's how it's spelled.
Named Kale. Yeah. Name Kale. 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 A man named Kale. Yes. Kale. Kale. A man named Kale. Yes. A man named Kale. Yes. Spelled differently but pronounced the same. Take. Spelled differently but differently but pronounced the
Hey, Blight. How are you doing? Figured I'd stream for just a little bit on editing. I know a few people were interested. Actually, I don't think I want that image. I think I'm going to use the other one.
spelled differently but pronounced the same.
Oh, I hate it when you do this, Vegas. There we go. Fine, we'll get rid of the aspect ratio. Probably gonna change this. I need to watch this done. I need to watch this done. When did it do? What? What are these words you're using? That's how you spell kale, right? I do have to look at that. What did Vegas do that you hate? Oh, so when you import an image like this, here, let me import it again. And you go in here to change its size. This is its aspect ratio, and like whenever you come back here. Whenever you move it, if you can see, it's not going to the edge of the screen. It's going to where its aspect ratio ends when you imported it. So like if I wanted to shrink this and put it on the edge of the screen, I can't, because it's going to do this, because it be butt sometimes. There are probably other solutions, but if you go to aspect ratio no, it changes it so you can go all the way, but it also changes the aspect ratio. So now the image is a little bit off, and I have to manually set it back to where it was to get it where I want it to be. If that makes sense. It only makes minor sense to me, so.
But pronounce the. A man named Kale. Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same. Spelled Kale. Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same.
I'm going to end up changing this, but I want to have something in here right now, but like I don't like how this is laid out.
A man named Kale. Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same.
So I want to have this come in, but I'm going to change this. I might do a actually, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. I have a video of the gameplay intro.
At your computer. A man named Kale. Yes.
Try this. All right. Gameplay intro. Whoops. There we go.
A man. A man named.
Oh, hey, Discordia. Do you storyboard these or just do them on the fly? So I don't storyboard them specifically. I think in pictures, so that helps me a lot. And what I do is, let me bring it up for you. There we go. So what I end up doing is, and I will, depending on how much thought I have beforehand, I'll do my full script, and then I'll use comments to do what I think would be a good shot. So I'm like, yeah, I think this will be funny. I think here's some clips I need to use. And I'll do it that way. So like, I was thinking here for this, the like pirate, that clip from Pirates: A Band of Misfits, which is a great movie. That like, yes, but actually no. But I might not use that. But I don't know. So like, things like that. So I kind of storyboarded out that way. Usually things that I've been thinking about real hard for a long time, I won't put on there because it's in my mind and I know I'm going to think of it at the time, which is kind of a dangerous thing to do. I don't recommend it. But that is what I do. And then depending on how many different types of things, like this one, I didn't have as many ideas for what I wanted to do before I finished the script. So I'm going to try and find some more as I'm doing it. So as I'm going through and I listen to something and I think I should put something here, either because I've used a bunch of game footage up until that point, or because I think something I could do something cool or funny, or I just like going out and shooting stuff, so I could do something like that. And I'll say I need to insert something here, and I have a little thing on my other monitor that's just a running log of notes of other shots I need to get, both live and in game, for specific things in here. So that's so a bit of both. The more I do beforehand, generally the smoother it is during editing, but I don't always think of everything beforehand, so if that makes sense. It goes well, Discordia. I'm just doing some editing. I figured I'd stream it for a little bit before lunch. I missed it. There's a gnat flying around. So yeah, some people it's expressed interest in seeing the process or parts of it. I don't think anybody wants to see the whole process. It is long. But yeah, so I figured I'd stream it for a little bit for everybody who wanted to see how the sausage is made, if you will. Crawdad King of Mars resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1. It's been 3 months. Thank you, Crawdad. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. But both because you are enjoying the content and also because that's money. That's pretty cool. Big fan of getting paid for work. It is super helpful. Okay, don't want that anymore, so I'm just gonna drop that in. Let's see. Oh, how did I get chat on screen? Oh boy, it's shoot, Streamlabs. What was it? Oh my gosh. What program did I use? It's not a program. It was just a thing. Shoot, hang on. Let me look. Pagan Techno Sorcery, no doubt. Is that my my ability to edit? Is Pago Techno Sorcery? That's my favorite genre. I'm thinking about Dishonored ATM. So semi-steampunk. Bone charms on the brain. Ooh. That is cool. By the way, I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise in preparation for tomorrow, and it's gone from I hate this to I can tolerate this, but I don't wanna. Okay. Well, let's try and get you to enjoyment. We'll try and get you there. Display capture, Twitch chat, properties. What was it? It was... The thing I'm using right now is nightdev.com. And it's when you go into OBS, it is a URL, add URL. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the like add URL thing to your sources, and then you plug in the URL, and then you can resize it. There's several different ways to do it. NightDev might not be the best one, I don't know, but it was one that I found, and I was like, I am not immediately scared of this, so I guess I'll just use it and see what happens. And the aspect ratio seemed more of what I wanted, so I was like, cool, I'll do that. Feel like it'll get there, but now that I'm out of the jungle of tutorial windows, it's okay. I finally see a part I can sail to entertaining game island. Cool. I hope we both sail.
Name Kale. Name Kale.
To entertaining game island. Alright, so I'm gonna redo this. Gonna put that over his head.
Spelled differently, but... Yes, spelled differently, but... differently. Spelled differently, but
Wrong one. Uh-oh. Oh, I ran it. Oh, that's right, because I changed this. So let me, whoop, there we go. Just made it a 30-30. Diver line at the last second. Are you playing Fall Guys right now? Discordia? I paid $60 for that boat. Well, hopefully it will sail you to, I was gonna say greener waters, but that's not. Not how that works. I guess it could be greener waters. How do I want this? Okay, I do need to turn off aspect ratio because it's being a butt, and I need it just a bit over. There we go. No one's gonna laugh at this joke. I'm spending this long to throw up a piece of kale on screen. And nobody is gonna find it entertaining. Okay, that's actually pretty close to his size. Now I see that that's off center in comparison. I want these to be semi lined up as well. We're gonna say that's close enough and save in case everything crashes.
a man named Kale, yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same.
Ooh.
Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same. Takes a portal that...
Alright, and it took me like, what, 20 minutes to make this one thing? That's how jokes work. Indeed, just hit the balanced seesaw whilst cannons fired at you. I hate that one. Glad you did it. Greener pastures, clearer waters. Greener waters, clearer pastures. They had 5 cannons and an axe. Oof. Usually, wow, that's a lot of cannons. You do need to play Fall Guys. Freaking love Fall Guys. What about... Oh, I do like that.
You. A man named Kale.
Ooh. Okay. I just saved it, so I'm gonna mess with my timeline. So...
A man named Kale.
So I'm gonna move this.
A man named Kale, yes.
Actually. Bump that, we're just gonna drag a new one down. Do that. We're gonna fix the aspect. And then we're gonna make it full screen.
A man named Kale, yes. Kale, yes, spelled differently. Yes, spelled differently. Yes, spelled differently, but spelled different.
Oh, I have it hit on differently.
Differently, but.
redo. Oh, I have it on locked. Do freeform. Whoop. Put that. About center. Rather than doing that, I'm just gonna copy and paste new source, and then I could just change the wording and the wording, the letters and the position, and then I don't.
Oh no.
Like when you say kale. Just had my tail stolen the last second. Ah, they always get you that last second. Except when they get you beforehand. The vegetable? Yes, kale the vegetable. Damn, I always stream when I have to go to IKEA. How often do you go into IKEA?
Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same. Pronounced the same. But pronounced the same. Pronounced. Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same. Spelled.
Actually, I think I want to come up on spelled.
Spelled. A man named Kale. Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same. Takes a portal that takes a.
Alright, so I want all that to end there.
A man named Kale. Yes, spelled differently but pronounced the same. Takes a portal that.
Alright, so if I extend this.
Differently but pronounced the same. Takes a portal that leads.
Actually, I'm going to do this differently. I want. This.
You. A man named Kale. You.
Nope.
You. A man named Kale. Yes. You. A man named Kale. Yes. Named Kale. Yes. Spelled differently but pronounced the same. Takes a portal that leads into your monitor and tells you to click yes to.
Ooh, actually. I want to use a different clip, so I'm going to back all this up.
You. A man named Kale. Yes. Spelled differently but pronounced the same. Takes a portal that leads into your monitor and tells you to click yes to transfer your soul into his body so you can save his world. With
Because of my Shutterstop experience, I'm used to working with layers, but these timeline syncs are so hard to get used to. Oh my gosh, really? I have the exact opposite problem. When I'm using Affinity and having to work with layers, I've finally gotten to the point where it's not maddening. But in timelines, like with you, where you have multiple video and then video and then audio, like some of them are synced, some of them are separate, that is freaking second nature to me, and it bothers me that it feels so different in a program like Affinity versus editing software. Don't get it. I vote for a clip of you falling from various bridges, and let's just. I am using both clips of that you all took, or the two of the clips that you all made from me falling off ledges in that level. They are storyboarded in. I just haven't put them in yet because I'm not that far in the video. So that's funny that you have the same experience, Blight, but in the opposite of programs. I was wondering, Jesse, why are they called Cobalt Wars? Was the use of the metal important in some ways? They lived people blue. I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest. I either completely forgot, or they never brought it up. I don't know why it was called the Cobalt Wars. Just do a super cut of me falling off the ledge. Man, I'll think about adding that. Goes to fall off various bridges and ledges. That's Fall Guys. I wish we could collaborate and make both our editing easier. Oh man, wouldn't that be nice?
Your monitor and tells you to click yes to transfer your soul into his body so you can save his world.
Oh. I don't need this kale.
Yes to transfer your soul into his body so you can save his world. Which isn't a video game. It is a real world.
I actually think for this part I want to have some like walking around. Full intro. No, I don't have any. So now, what I specifically want is, when I'm saying it's a world, not a video game, I want a shot of me walking around the streets, because that's a really cool shot. But this particular shot, I'm probably going to have to use when I say go to his apartment. So I might have to find another shot. But I might be able to get two edits out of this. So I'm going to grab this beginning part. Oh, and you can hear the keyboard. Ugh. There's probably a better looking shot.
Which
But I'm going to use this as filler right now.
which you can save his world. Which isn't a video.
Oh, I hate that I... Okay, so... I don't like that I start walking and then run, so I'm going to move it to where I start running. Bump that back.
Save his world. Which isn't a video game. It is a real world. His real world in an alternate dimension. So the weirdness of
Alright, cool. Is it a game for fans of David Bowie? I mean, it can be. If you go into the game wanting David Bowie, you're gonna be disappointed, because there's not a lot of David Bowie. I feel like his influence is very obvious. But you're gonna want something else. You're gonna have to want something else, or you're gonna be disappointed. In as much a way Cyberpunk 2077 is Keanu Reeves fans. How much is Keanu Reeves even in that game? Because I haven't played it. And I really want to. But I'm kind of waiting until it's done. But I want to play it.
So the weirdness of the game definitely starts there, but it doesn't stop once you get into Kale's dimension.
So this section, I think I'm gonna redo this line as a live shot. So when I do that, I just leave the timeline blank, or if I need a reminder, I will like put some text chat that says live.
So the weird.
But I like my take on that, so I might not. They amped up the difficulty. I just got a rotating bar on the tile matching puzzle. Oh yeah, they do that. Now I'm watching one of the two survivors of 30 balance on top of the rotating bar. Wow. Yeah, they do that. I really like that variation where they have the spinning bar, but it is tough because even if you get your timing right, if someone in front of you messes up, their beam can hit you and it'll send you flying off the edge even though you did everything right. So it's really tough. Vocally, I know he's in it more than his model, but from what I understand, it's not that much. Okay. Let's watch two sharks rush. Wow, 2 people on Fall Mountain? Dang. That must have been tense.
So the weirdness of the game definitely starts there, but it doesn't stop once you get into Kale's dimension. To Kale's. After clicking yes.
Okay, so now I'm going back and describing a thing. So let me go back to the trimmer. What's this? This is the live one. So I need full intro. And I need the part where I click yes. Whoop, that's too far. Actually, I think I will start there. I will. Don't need that much footage. Go there.
Alternate dimension. After click.
Oh, I usually have the window, this preview window on my second monitor, but since I'm
Kale's
streaming,
dimension.
and you all want to see it, if you're paying any attention to this, that would be why you are here. So I have it set up so I could just tab between them on here.
After clicking yes to enter into his body and travel to his dimension.
So I want that to end. Ooh, I have way too much. Because I want that jumping in.
Doesn't stop. After clicking yes to enter into his body. After clicking yes to enter into his body and travel to his dimension, you dive face first onto.
Alright, so I want a little more space there, so I cut my audio, and I'm going to give it a little room.
After clicking yes to enter into his body and travel to his dimension, you.
But I also cut it on breath, so I got to extend that so I don't. Actually, I'm going to do the opposite and cut out my breath.
Dimension to his.
And I'm going to do a fade because I feel like that's too
Dimension.
sharp.
Enter into his body and travel to his dimension.
Actually, I'm going to do the opposite. I need... We're going to do cut on white.
After clicking yes to enter into dimension. After clicking yes to enter into his body and travel to his dimension. Dimension. You dive face.
So now I need the landing. Oh, perfect. There's white on this side too, so I can line these up.
To his dimension. You dive face first.
Oh, but it has a little bump thing. Okay, that's fine. I can... That's so weird that it does that. Hang on. What does it do? That's so weird. So the game is in widescreen. And then when it cuts, it goes to full screen. But then it fades back to widescreen. That's so weird that they did that instead of just keeping it to widescreen. I guess because it was in-game engine, it probably starts, just auto starts full screen and then does the thing. 28 were taken out by the rotating beam. Wow. Is the only game you've really liked on behind schedule so far, Turok? No, I liked shoot, Alone in the Dark. I really liked Alone in the Dark. And then I liked Omicron. I legitimately like Omicron. I go into much more detail in this.
You dive face first onto the
Actually, we're gonna...
You dive face first onto the concrete of an alley, and before you can get your wits, a demon
Cut that. Oh, that's not the vibe I got. Really? Okay. The end, and I mentioned this in the thing, is that the end of Omicron is terrible. But no, I enjoyed it. It's so weird. Like, the recommendation comes with some caveats. I came in here and almost got... So I mostly got frustration from you. Oh, okay, yeah, the end. It definitely, and I mentioned this in the full script too. You can watch the quality decrease as you go. Like they're running out of time. It feels like every new area has less to do, less unique things. Puzzles get simpler. Like it's a very steady decline until those last couple hours, which are terrible. But as a whole, had fun with it.
you can get your wits, a demon jumps out of the shadows to murder you. Right before it kills you.
Alright, so I know. Let's just pull it from here. I think I get this, like, soul-sucking part.
Right before it kills you, or kill you, technically.
Okay, I don't want to cut it there, so...
Right before it kills you, or kill you, technically. An Ed 209.
Ooh, actually, I want to get that cut when it's looking over. So can I start it earlier?
Murder you. Right before it kills you, or kill you, technically. An Ed... Technically. An Ed 2 you, or kill you, technically. An...
Okay, that's kind of frustrating. I want to get this on a good cut, so I think I'm going to do this head turn. So it's what it's looking at, and then I'll cut to the next part that I want to do. I think I have enough.
Right before it kills you, or kill you, technically. An Ed 2...
Okay, there we go. Okay, fair. The end was all I had time to at work to see. Oh, that makes sense. Oh no, Slimescaper. Ooh, it's a tough one. I do love it. Imprecales you? That's funny.
An Ed 209 busts in, scares whatever demon's crap out of it, saving your life.
Okay.
Technically, saving your life. Then
And then... it Kales you dead. That's funny. I have to check my phone. There we go. Thank you for the joke layup. Hey Jesse, I'm free this afternoon suddenly. Suddenly? Uh-oh, what happened? If you've got some free time today, do you want to see observation duty? Oh man, maybe. I have game night tonight and I gotta work on this. I might have some time this afternoon. I might have a little bit of time. Also, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention. I'm standing at my desk. It's fun. It's fine. Just cancel board game night. No. Oh wait. Did you cancel board game night, or you're saying I should cancel board game night? What are we doing for game night? Well, the last 3 game nights, we've been so excited to see each other, we haven't shut up long enough to play a game. So, we might play a game today, or we might continue talking. Because it's been like, boy howdy, a long time. But I'll probably bring... We're going to be indoors, so I don't have to worry about the wind. Because we're all vaccinated. So, I might bring, like, Betrayal. There might be too many peoples for Sentinels of the Multiverse. Ooh, I might bring Grindhouse. That'd be fun. I've been wanting to play that with people. I got it for Christmas. Observation duty does sound really cool. Legitimately cool.
Then we... Rather than calling you, it just tells you to go home. The problem is, you're not Kale. The problem is, you're not Kale. And you don't know where home is. Or where anything is. Kale told you...
It's fun and cheap. That's my jam right there.
But didn't give you any more instructions beyond that. So you have no idea what's going on, why you're here, who Kale is or was, or what you need to do. You look through your inventory to find...
Okay, I know I've got that clip. So this section, I'm not sure what I want to put here, so I'm going to leave it blank for now. And I know I got intro gameplay. I grabbed stuff specifically for this, so I have looking through my inventory. Oh, you asked what happened to Kale when you enter Kale's body? Kale says that he'll be there when you save the game and step away. He'll take back over. But spoilers, Kale's already dead. And so I don't know what happens. And when you possess other people, they just sort of become ghosts. And then when you leave, they're gone. So I don't think it's ever explained what happens to the bodies once you leave them. Or if the soul stays in the body, and once you leave, they gain recontrol of it, assuming you don't die. Because if you die, then that body's dead, and they're dead, but you get to move on. So it is not super, not clear. I highly recommend. Yeah, because Kale says that, but he's a unreliable source, so you don't know. I recommend a box insert for Betrayal. If you don't already have one, the game is fully set up in 1 minute. Oh, wow, that sounds freaking great. I don't have one, and it's just pieces all over that box. It's not set up like the Bloodborne deck builder. That has the best box insert I have ever seen in my life. It's beautiful. A serial killer run. I mean, yeah. It's like Wonder Woman 84. You don't want to think about what's going on. Yeah, you're not sure. You saved our world, but you killed a lot of our citizenry. Please leave. Pretty much.
So you have why you're here, or was, or what. You look through your inventory.
Alright, so... Oops. Nope. Wrong window. Stop it. There we go. Okay, accidentally pause there. Oh, I go back? Okay. I like this setup. Oh, you can hear my phone get a message in that clip.
Told you to show up who Kale is or was. You look through your inventory to. You look through your inventory to.
Stu, can I line this up?
You look through your inventory.
Oh, perfect. I've got space. I want, like, the cut to happen.
Two. You look through your inventory to find out.
Yeah, that's darn near it.
Inventory. For your inventory. For your in. For your in. For your inventory. For your in. You look through your inventory to find.
So close. I think I want, like, a frame or two.
Through your inventory to find. Through your inventory to. You look through your inventory to find. You. You look through your inventory to find out what Kale had on him.
There we go. I'll send you a picture. Sweet. Did that... Hang on, I gotta check the Streamlabs notification thing that's popping up. Let me make sure it's doing it the right timing. It's supposed to do it every, like, 40 minutes. 11:38. 12:18. Yeah, okay, it's working right. Cool.
Him to figure out who he was and what he wanted you to do. So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to find it. Map to find.
Alright, do that. Back to trimmer. Now I gotta get the clip of using the map. Ooh. Can I merge these clips?
Key. Key. Use the map to find it.
Oh my gosh, I might be able to.
Map to find it. Your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to find your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to find it and start finding out more.
Yay! How does that
what he
look?
wanted you to do. So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key.
Ooh, there's a... Okay, can I cheat this? So, nobody asked for this, but this is what I'm going to do, is talk to you. So, if you look here...
So you go through your inventory...
Because these are spinning, you can see when this cut happens, they're no longer rotating like they should.
So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to...
So while this is basically the timing I want for when the map to show up, I don't like this cut. So I'm going to cheat it. And I'm going to go to here. And when this pops out, I'm going to end that clip. And I'm going to try and see if I can do it so I can start the next clip if there's space. We're going to find out. Nope. Okay. Bummer. What is that Streamlabs thing for? If you post too much, it auto boots. Oh, the Streamlabs thing I was testing, so like, I wanted to have something that pop up in chat that could be like once every certain amount of time, like, hey, remember to be cool to each other. These are chat rules, or like, you can always check out the latest videos on this playlist. So it pops up, just reminders of stuff. For the Switch stream, I had one that popped up that was just like, thanks, here's the link. So just try to find ways to incorporate more reminders and stuff. And, excuse me, being able to bring up other things that I don't like constantly want on the screen. Like, oh, you could do this for reviews, but then that's on the screen the whole time. It is something I was toying with. Or if I can get, whatchamacallit, if I get that sweet sponsor shows up and be like, hey, don't forget, Taco Bell. I don't know.
2. You look through your inventory to find out what Kale had on him to figure out who he was and what he wanted you to do. So you go through your inventory and find an apartment.
So can I... How does this look?
So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to find it.
That's weird that it does that. Trim out the frame. Wait, which frame?
So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to...
Man.
You look through your inventory to find out...
I can...
to do.
I'm gonna try this.
Need to do. You look through your inventory to find out what is, who Kale is or was, or what you need,
What if I drag this all the way over here?
or what you need to do. You look through your inventory to find out what Kale. No idea what's going on, why you're here, who Kale is or was, or what you need.
No, it's not gonna work. Bummer. Okay.
And what he wanted you to do. So you go through your inventory and find an... So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key. To do. You look through your inventory to find out what Kale had on him to figure out who he was and what he wanted you to do. So you go through your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to find it and start...
I think I'm gonna stick with this. To cheat the spin, since it's basically the same screen, just overlay with the trimmed out shot of the spinning bits you can. Oh, so like, I could put a mask on this. No, I can't put a mask on that.
to figure
So,
out who
like,
he was.
Take this and superimpose it over this so I could line it up how I wanted it. Is that kind of what you were thinking? Because I would have to redo it because of the part where the selector goes over it. If that's at all what you mean.
And start finding out more information about Kale.
Basically, but with the rest of the frame. Okay, yeah. Yeah, at this point, I feel like that would be more work. It's not a bad idea, but that would probably end up being more work for me than if I like really wanted to get this perfect, going back in game and just going into my menu and doing it again to get the timing closer to right. Even like just getting this screen, holding it for a few seconds, so I could always line this up and then move it.
And start finding out more information about Kale. Like, he was... Use the map to find it.
I don't know if that's making sense. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Find it. Use the map. You go through your inventory and find an apartment key. Use the map to find it. About Kale. Like, he was a cop.
Do this with the doors opening.
And find it. And start finding out more information about Kale. Like...
Oh, wow. He just stands there. Oh, that's a terrible shot.
To find it. And start finding out more information about Kale. Like, he was a cop.
Alright. Can I cheat this? So... Doors open there. How noticeable is this? Can I blend it?
Finding out more information.
Whoop! Well, there's a black flare frame in there. Yeah, that's definitely bad. Aw, dang it. Cut my audio. Let me just whoopsie doodle that. Okay. Or de-whoopsie doodle, I guess. I like his like whoop when he starts walking.
Finding out more information about...
See if I can get that fade out complete.
And start finding out more information about Kale. More information.
Alright, so I'm actually going to blend this. Oh, what are you doing? You're not auto-blending. Boo. Okay, I'll do that later. Question, what do you think would be the best way to make clips from the movies we've watched? If you're doing multiple... If you are doing multiple movies per episode, like I think you said you want to do 3 movies for the first one. I was thinking about just letting them run while recording on OBS, just trimming for the source. That would work. Do a test run to make sure it's recording at the right frame rate. OBS sometimes drops frames or quality for me. So I usually use the GeForce NVIDIA capture thing. If you're doing 3 movies in one episode, you probably don't need to record all of the 3 movies, especially if you're going to be cutting in with shots of yourself. I think that's something that would help with something that would help would be the storyboarding. So what chunks of the movie you want showing or particular scenes you want showing, think about where you want them and then capture a little bit before and after of that scene. I'm not sure I don't want to give Mario movie its own episode. Oh, okay. Even with... I guess that also depends on how long the episode is. So if you have your episode be 5 minutes for 2 movies, yeah, that's going to be way too much footage. You're just... That's it's unreasonable amount of footage you're going to have to go through. 15 to 20 minutes. For that, it might be worth... For 2 movies, it might be worth it. When you're capturing the footage, you could also, if you want to watch it again, writing down the timestamp for especially good-looking scenes you want to use, or scenes that you're like, oh yeah, I definitely want this because I talk about this part at a certain point, and then you know you have that footage. So I would try and do as much of that in the storyboarding as possible. If you could think about what parts of the movie you want and then grab those snippets, that'll probably save you some time. If you're not sure and you're just like, I don't know, then go ahead, just capture the whole movie and then pull the parts you want. Scrubbing through a 2-hour file is not a whole lot of fun. So that's why I recommend trying to storyboard it out if you can beforehand. If that makes sense. Would you consider grouping sequels like those Blood Rain films? Oh man. Okay, if you have an NVIDIA card, it's GeForce. If you have it's Radeon from AMD, they have their own. That I think used to be called Shadowplay, and then they changed the name. There's also a native one in Windows called Xbox Capture or something like that, which also works well, honestly. That's what I used for a long time. Not sure what I've got. Yeah, either one will have it, and then Windows 10 has the Xbox video screen capture. So, okay, I that one's worked fine for me. I think as long as it records it. Well, you don't even need 60 FPS because you're doing movies. So yeah, you record at 30 and set quality to max. It should be good. Test it just to make sure. How do I activate the NVIDIA one? It should be, there's probably a little thing when you click on this down here, like GeForce NVIDIA settings, right click and then GeForce. If you have, what you call it? I almost tried to explain it like I'm not sharing my doggone screen. If you have a, what you call it, a GeForce, not GeForce, if you have a Radeon card, it'll probably be something similar, where it's just you go down here and it'll be like Radeon Sweet Deals or whatever it's called, Shadowplay something. And then you click on that and it's probably going to be very similar. Because I had a Radeon card on my old computer and the card was too old for it to work properly. It was too chunky. The video was, so that never worked out properly. And that's why I used the Windows one. And that's because the video card was it didn't have enough to record at the quality I wanted and run the game at the quality I wanted. So, no hate on Radeons. They are also good cards. If I had my pick, I'd probably have a 6800 or whatever. But this is the card I got. It's pretty good, so I'm good with it. 3070 has been working real well for me. Check those when I get home. Cool.
About Kale. Like he was.
So I know I have a clip in here of him getting his badge. So here it is. Let's do insert. Oops.
Like he was a cop. Information about Kale. Like he.
I think I'm gonna actually. See how this looks.
Kale. Like he was a cop.
Whoop, that's the wrong section.
About Kale. Like he was a cop.
Ooh, I don't like that the words pop up right there. Let's get this mid-grab.
About Kale. Like he was a cop. And his partner is dead.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cop. And his partner is dead. His cop partner, not his. And his partner is dead.
Oh, I want a different clip there.
And his partner is. His cop partner, not his partner part.
I don't think this is the best shot, but I do really like this one. Just this. That like I just spit everywhere. It's a really funny shot to me and I like it. Oop, too far. I'm gonna have that much. If I'm gonna have that lead in, I think I want some more space so it's not as jarring. I have such a hard time getting clips the way you do it. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but it just won't cooperate. Like the physically like in and out button, or like scrubbing through and finding what I want, because so like literally this right here, like I want from here to here. That. I was gonna say the finding the right clip is that's just doing this a stupid amount of time. But the actual thing, okay, I'm not sure. We'll do a screen share later if you want, because really, I mean, here's how it should work, which by no means means this is how it's working for you, but like, so I want right before he opens this desk drawer, so I'm going to scrub to it. My thing is right here. I'm going to hit I on the keyboard. It moves that there. I'm going to scrub it through. I get my smeckles or whatever these are called. And I know that's where I want. And I hit O for out. There are some weird things it'll do. So if you look right here, explain it to me, but how you do it, but it tries to clip the whole thing. Okay, perfect. Just what I was about to get into. when I do that, there is a little thing that it'll hiccup on sometimes. If you notice, this section is blue between these two things. If it's not, and it is very easy to miss, and there are times where I've been like, I hit the right key. Why did it do that? But it won't do it. And when you hit the import button, it will give you the whole thing, or from the 1 point on to the end. So it has to be the highlighted blue area. If you like accidentally bump something and hit the wrong thing, I honestly don't even know all the ways to mess it up. I just know that I've done it multiple ways, multiple times. So there are plenty of ways to mess it up. But you'll do something, or I'll do something, and it won't highlight the section. And then when I hit import, it'll do exactly that. It'll send from the 1 point to the end of the clip onto the timeline, and I'll be like, what the heck? So it just paying a, you like really got to pay attention to it. No, that's like, boom, got it. It's highlighted. Now I know if I hit it, it'll go in. So if it's not doing that, that's a whole nother problem. But like I legitimately mean this. It is so easy to not to mess that up and hit the button and you think you've done everything right and it doesn't do it correctly. That is upsettingly, I don't even know how it does it every time, like I said, but it does, and it's frustrating. So like, watch out for that. Once I realized what it was doing, I just still didn't know how I messed it up every time, but it did make it easier for me to know, because I would start paying attention, and right before I'd hit it, I'd go, wait a second, that's not blue, and then I'd fix it. Oh, so like this. So I did it. So I'm going to hit in and in, out. Boom, it's blue. And then if I hit, let me save this so I don't mess up my stuff. And then if I hit in here, it's still in here. But if I hit import, it's going to give me a whole chunk of stuff I don't want. Gave me the whole thing. And I don't want that. And all I did was click on it. It's still highlighted. What a shot that is. You know, it looks like it's going to send it, but it's not. And then if I hit, okay, well, I hit O here. Boom. We have it highlighted. I just clicked over here. It's not highlighted anymore. So it's going to give me the whole freaking thing. So, like, stuff like that. I think that's the issue. I'm sure why my highlights isn't working is because I manually just shows up at the two yellow triangles on top. Yeah. So, like, that's got to be blue. Because, yeah, if you click anywhere, well, not anywhere, because I can click here, because I can readjust where it's going to pop in and then hit it. But, yeah, if that's not blue, it's going to do exactly that problem that you have. And be a mess of trouble.
Venture miss to be a uncover who Kale was, why he needed you specifically.
Okay, these are the clips I don't need. That's what I was messing around with. Oh, Restream says congratulations, you've reached 100 chats today. Woo! Thanks, Restream. Twitch tells me there's 12 people in here, which is very surprising to me for, hey, look, I'm editing. So if anyone has any questions, feel free. I'll be on for 15 to 45 more minutes, depending on lunch arrival.
Point the game cop, and his partner is dead. His cop partner, not his partner, who is very much alive and is very confused at why you're acting so weird. You, Kale, you. Not you, NY.
I don't know what I'm going to put there, so I'm going to leave this clip on it for now.
You, not you. NY Kale himself is suspected of his partner's murder. So at this point...
Oh no, it cuts right there. I don't like this long thing, so I'm going to...
very much alive and is very confused at why you're acting so weird. You, Kale, you.
Can I cut here and blend it with this shot? Does that work? Let's find out.
You're acting so weird. You, Kale, you. You're acting so weird. You, Kale, you.
Actually, I'm gonna get that on the. There's a term. Hey, Discordia. Oh wait, I just already. It said waves and greeting, and I was like, well, hey. I mean, we've been talking already, but hey. It's really funny. Oh, dang. Blitz rated. With a party of 11. Hey. Man, this is not my usual stream. So this is probably not the best introduction. I usually stream games that are fun to play. Today I'm editing. And some people had... Lord, he's Jessen. Some people have expressed interest in seeing a bit of the sausage gets made. So I decided to stream a little bit of my editing process today. I do a video series on The Escapist called Behind Schedule, where I review a game that's 20 years old or older that I've never played before as what if you were playing it for the first time today? Does it stack up as a game that is good to actually play versus a game that was good for its time? And I'm editing Omicron the Nomad Soul today. So, hi, Miscreant from Accounting. That's a great name. They have to listen to my rant like a madman, so I figured some lowercase stuff would be nice. That's funny. Oddly enough, he's ahead of schedule on the project. I am ahead of schedule. I finished 2 games for the next 2 behind schedules, which is Omicron and then Blood Rain, the remastered version. So yeah, I am ahead. Oh, bye Blitz. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. I will say hi to Buff Baby for you. So yeah, I usually stream games and have fun. But today it is the other part of making videos, which is the making the video, not just playing the game and getting the footage and then writing my script and everything. So if any of you who have rated have questions on editing, feel free to ask. And if you have any interest in following or whatever to watch games when they get played, you may do so. We're going to be playing Switch games on Thursday night if you want to join us. We're going to be playing Monster Hunter Rise, which I think is up to 4 players, so if other people want to join, they can.
Of his partner's murder.
Oh, I have to see if this edit works.
Acting so weird. You, Kale, you.
Oh, right. That's what I was doing right when he rated. I have to cut on the action. There's a term. Yay. Blight's not sold on Monster Hunter Rise yet. There's a term in editing called cut on the action. Or a rule in editing, I should say. And like all rules, there's a reason that you would break them. But it is a good basic rule to follow and then break for specific reasons. So the idea is when you cut, you don't want to have someone like turn, look at camera, cut to this side, and then have them be like, huh. Because then you have dead space. You have like this pause, and then a pause from a new angle, and then now we're back. You want to have it cut during the action. So before I finish my, or I guess I'm starting this way, before I finish my turn, you want to cut to me mid-turn to finish it and then address. So it's a smooth looking thing, and you don't have that dead space because it makes it a continuous action. There are reasons not to do it if you're trying to build tension. Like you have a sniper who's aiming at someone. You might cut to them when they're like and like they're obviously not doing an action, and they maybe do like an insert of like the trigger finger, like kind of like get a little tighter. So like rather than cutting on the action of the pulling, you might, for the sake of pacing, have the finger out and then pull it, and then cut to the close up of the, like a closer shot of the eye looking down the scope. So plenty of reasons to not follow it, but as a general rule, it is the way to go. It makes things flow better. It makes things more interesting. It keeps everything going. So I'm going to try and cut this. So when she goes for the grab and we come out.
Confused at why you're acting so weird. You, Kale, you.
So rather than having this dead space, I'm going to start it here, and let's see if that works, how that looks. And this is part of the art side of editing, is like, how does it look? Yeah, that might be the right idea, but if it looks like butt in a bad way, then you don't want it.
Why you're acting so weird. You, Kale, you. Not you, you. And why Kale himself is suspected of his partner's murder. So at this point,
Okay, so that worked out pretty well. I don't hate it.
at why you're acting so weird. You, Kale, you. Not you, you. And why Kale himself is suspected of.
God, that's the actual in-game cut. That looks terrible, but
And why Kale himself is suspected.
yeah, okay, I didn't make this cut. She's like, whoop, arm down. That's technically correct. Oh, I like Kale's jump right there. Gotta get all the way up. Gotta straighten that spine. Experimenting and editing. Cut on the action permanently. No action in your film never ends. It's funny. Hey, Insightful. So the general rules of editing, kind of like the general rules of writing, best followed but often broken, but you should be aware that you are breaking the rules. Absolutely. Yeah, the rules of writing is a great example. You want to know how to tell a story in specific ways, and like kind of audience expectations and pacing and all sorts of things, but all of those, if you followed those rules 100% of the way, 100% of the time, everything would be derivative and it would be really boring. So it's better to keep your audience's interest, but there are reasons to subvert it or change it or do something unexpected. But it is better to know. There is one of the people I was mentoring for editing, who makes how to play videos for board games, and he does a really good job. I looked at his stuff and was like, I'm happy you think I can offer you opinions, because this is good. But he didn't know that was one thing that he mentioned, was like that he didn't know what he was doing right, and that was a problem for him, where he knew like this one feels good, this one doesn't. Why? So I was able to help him with, being able to do things like, okay, cutting on action. That's one of the things you want to do. Respecting the 180 degree rule, because he was doing a lot of live shots of a tabletop and like people playing. And I was like, hey, here's actually some rules you're respecting. Here's where you break them. There's a reason you would do this, but generally this will make it easier. Here's a way where you broke the rule which actively works against what you were doing. And so that was really cool. So yeah, the basics, the fundamentals are really, really, really useful to have. And again, once you have that groundwork, then you know how to build off of that in cool and interesting ways. I guess like architecture. You need the groundwork of understanding how to build the house, so whatever you build doesn't fall apart. But within that, you know how to make things change to work and do things better. The definition of formulaic. Yeah, pretty much.
Of his partner's murder. So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs.
Okay.
Of his part. himself is suspected.
I hate that cut. I actually think no one else will notice this, but I am going to change this. I'm going to cut these 2 frames out.
Kale himself is
Nope. I missed some. By 2 frames, I mean 4 frames.
Kale himself is suspected of his partner's murder.
I still don't like that cut. It's too jarring, but that's in-game. I can't change that. Yeah, I'm not your partner. I'm just wearing him as a meat suit. I'm just currently a meat mech pilot in your partner.
Kale himself is suspected of his partner's murder. So at this point, the game's...
It's so funny because I picked the options to be like, yo, I'm not who you think I am. I am a dude from another dimension. And she's like, are you feeling okay, Kale? It's like, lady, I am trying to help you out here. I am not Kale. I actually really liked that character. I thought she was cool. Spoilers, she's a demon. That made me sad. And she also murdered me. That was my first death, is straight up her kicking my ass. Turns out demons stole my soul and stuck it in your partner's body. Crazy, right? That's what I tried to say, and she was just like, whatever. Gundam M. Gundam M is just real life, though. What are we but brains piloting a meat mech from room to room?
So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure.
Okay, so now I'm gonna do the thing I don't like. Sometimes. So I've got this section.
So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure.
I also did all of the audio recording and editing and trimming and everything beforehand. So I feel like that's probably the least interesting part. If anyone has interest in that, I'll show that off next time too. But I went ahead and just did all that and got out of the way. I had my final cut and then plopped it in here before I started the stream.
Adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs, find clues, and solve puzzles that reveal more about the world to uncover who Kale was, why he needed you specifically to take over his body, and who killed his partner. And that's, you know, kind of right.
So this is a big long section, and I feel like I could put some good clips in here of specific things. I wonder which came first, this or Altered Carbon. Oh my gosh, when did Altered Carbon come out? When was that book written? Oh! Okay, Altered Carbon was published in 2002. This came out in 1999. Was it his first book, though? Because if it was his first book, that means he wrote it probably like freaking decade before it was published, if not earlier. Bibliography. Yes, that was his first book. So Altered Carbon was published after this, but was almost certainly written before it, because books take a long time to write. First book, or the concept is similar. Yeah, but with Altered Carbon, like, it's the... Kind of. You just have, like, the empty sleeves. Also, this is magic-based, not digitization, which is sci-fi and magic. The difference is freaking which way you hand-wave away stuff. It'd be like, it's magic, or, like, nanobots, or whatever. So, yeah, but the idea of, like, consciousness being something that you can separate from the body. Yes. Although in this case, it's specifically one consciousness, and you're special. And then in Altered Carbon, it's carbon. Altered Carbon. It's anybody can do it if you got the scratch. I like stories like that. I really enjoy the out-of-body experience stuff. Also, there are new people here, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to say the first season of Altered Carbon on Netflix is fantastic. It's better than the book, and I will die on that hill. And I like the book. We can do anything ever since science invented magic.
So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs.
So I think I'm going to do a crowd shot for this.
At this point,
So I'm talking about semi-open world adventure game. So I want a shot of me walking around the city. So I'm going to go through my footage. I didn't label any of this because I'm dumb. It helps a lot if you go through and label it. That's a lot harder to do on stream, but I'm going to start doing it for whatever the next one is. Even though I have to like stop and be like, hang on everybody, let me label this, but it makes it easier for me later. Because right now this is all just Omnicron. And I don't know what are in these clips. Oh, this is a David Bowie concert. I'm going to label that. Oh, the first season only. I didn't finish the second season. It lost me. I was kind of hoping it would follow the book because the second book is better than the first book. I actually really like the story. Takashi Kovacs is a less annoying character to me in the second book. And all the stuff having to do with the aliens was really interesting. And I didn't think they would follow that because the budget would have been wild. And they didn't. And I tried to be on board with it, but I just couldn't. It didn't capture me. Heck, for talking consciousness being separated from the body. Can we go back as far as ancient Greeks? Further problem. What was the ancient Greeks view on that? What insightful? What specifically do you mean by that? Because that's something that's a big gap in my knowledge. But that sounds cool. Still waiting for Snow Crash. No, they teased it years ago. They teased it? Really? I didn't even know they made it that far. I still stand by Snow Crash. It would be incredible adaptation. Whoops. Well, that crashed. Let's try it again. I'm gonna mute that because you're gonna hear me. It's raining. Here we go. All right, so door. Walking around. This is a pretty good shot. So this is 7, about 35. And that gets stuck on a wall. Okay, so I'm going to cut it before there, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to drag this into my thing. And then I gotta switch to trimmer, and I'm gonna pop that in there. So, and then I'm gonna go to 7. My time is down here, so I'll go to. I'll use the keyboard because it's being a little finicky. Because this is a problem. This is such a large clip that trying to do small mouse movements in here is still skipping lots. So you can switch to the keyboard and then go. This is doing it, what, like 30 frames? 32 frames, somewhere around there per thing. So I'll start there. And I'll end there. And I will click here. So I know it's going to go in the right spot because I forgot where it was. Depends on the philosopher, I think, but some of the classical philosophers on that. Oh, it's really dark in here. Let me turn my light on. That might help a little bit. Some of the classical philosophers had a mind/body distinction. Of course, I don't remember the specifics. Oh, well, bummer. I was out the second I saw Power Rangers-esque flip dodges in the first episode in the second season of Altered Carbon. Hey, I don't judge against Power Ranger flip dodges, but it is quite a tonal shift in that regard. It was really just the story that got me. I couldn't... There were a few interesting things, and then there was the rest of it. And it was sad because I was really excited to learn more about Falconer. Because that's not something that went into in the first two books. And they developed her so well as a character that I was like, yes, I want to learn more. And that didn't pay off. What's your opinion on the Mario movie? Now you had a day to stew. It's funny. I'm curious too. I guess it's somewhere in the script. The line, but the game has David Bowie in it, appears. Probably. I mean, that's a good line though. It was experience. I can't call the movie good, but not sure I could call it fun to watch. Yeah. It's especially sad when Yoshi dies. Like, just, I really didn't see that coming. It just took a real turn.
Murder. So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs, find clues.
Okay, I don't need the spot where I get stuck on a wall, so... Let's cut that out.
So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs.
So I want to talk to NPCs.
Where you talk to NPCs.
Actually, I really like that reveal, so I'm gonna...
It's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs. Where you talk to NPCs.
I'm gonna cut on talk.
Open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs. So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game.
Oh man, I like that lead-in though, where you kind of come around this corner. I think I like that more than the swivel.
So at this point, the game seems like it's going to be a semi-open world adventure mystery game where you talk to NPCs.
Alright, so we're gonna cut there. Now I'm gonna go back in this because I was in a bar and I bet somewhere in this footage I talked to an NPC. Oh, there he is. Rip Yoshi 1993. It's gonna be my first shirt at this rate. You don't understand how many times after we watched that, Devin and I made the joke about Yoshi dying. Like, everything we were talking about for the rest of the night, we were like, yeah, it was cool until Yoshi died. So, sorry, that's gonna get brought up all the time now. I feel more cultured for having seen the Mario movie, though. So there's that. The movie's also a few months older than me. I feel some weird connection to it. So were they puppeting the corpse for all the subsequent games? I can tell because I woke up to Discord about it. Oh, I forgot. That's right. She did post to Discord about it. That was funny. Yeah, I feel like that's a safe thing to say about the movie. At that movie, also the sound design in that movie is too loud. It is just a barrage of noises that don't all work together. And there are long sections of the movie that are a barrage of noises that don't always work well together. And I think this is the only NPC I talked to, that bartender. Yeah, alright, well I'll get a clip of that then. Oh, there's some back and forth. Okay, I think I just won. I only have time for...
You talk to NPCs, find clues.
Alright, I need more time on him. Cool, I can drag that out.
You talk to NPCs, find clues.
Find clues. No idea if I have a clip for that anywhere. It's making me dread my comment about liking the Wilhelm scream joke. Why? Why do you dread that comment? Apparently Mario punches Yoshi, so he's puppeting his corpse isn't a stretch. Yeah. Not a stretch at all. Super Necromancy Brothers.
Find clues and solve puzzles that reveal more about.
Oh, that's right. That's that section I got stuck. I had to reload it. Okay, so there's first person shooting in this one. Dang. I know I'm gonna need a clip of that later. Dread? Oh no, you shouldn't dread that. But you will be. Dragged, certainly. Yeah, a picking up item would be really good. I just have to... It's such a small clip in a freaking video that's going to be like an hour. I think... Oh, perfect. Hello. That's me picking up thing. That's it. Perfect.
Find clues.
Yeah, if you haven't heard enough of my voice already, the audio in all my clips only recorded my microphone. So it's like silent except for me when I'm talking. That's really annoying. I dread what running joke it'll spawn. Honestly, Jesse, I'm surprised you're so sanguine about the terrible abuse of his bipedal reptile. Ah, shoot. Uh-oh. What'd I do?
Game where you talk to
Oh, dang it, because I changed the name. Okay, hang on. Ah, shoot. Replace. It's on Chunk Drive. This is my NVIDIA. It's Omicron. It's David Bowie.
At this point,
All right, good. I changed the name, so this wasn't. It now said that source file was not there anymore. So wow, that worked out, and I'm very happy. That could have been an absolute headache. Because. Oh, you're worried the joke about the Wilhelm scream isn't going to hold up. I mean, my expectations for that whole movie are pretty much rock bottom. So, one joke not holding up, it's not going to dethrone I can't believe they killed Yoshi. Or it really scarred me when they killed Yoshi. We're all practicing Wilhelm screams. Does Yoshi count as a dinosaur? I mean, like, isn't his name literally Yoshi the dinosaur? It's not Jesse, he's been omnicrommed. Oh no, they're on to me.
where you talk to NPCs, find clues,
Alright, so I need the pickup. So we're going to get his hand clipping right through it.
find clues, and solve puzzles that reveal more about the world. Find clues,
We're going to trim that a little more.
NPCs, find clues, and solve puzzles that NPCs, find clues, and solve
Oh, we're going to trim that a lot more because that's the...
find clues, and solve puzzles that
God, that's disorienting.
find clues, and solve puzzles.
But I'm going to leave it for now. As far as I know, they did kill M, and it burned a false memory into my brain. Oh man, that's funny. They didn't kill him though. Yoshi lives in the Mario Brothers movie. I don't think they've killed him in any other media.
Clues, and solve puzzles that reveal more about the world to uncover who Kale was, why he needed you specifically.
So I would love to have one giant clip to put in there.
And solve puzzles that reveal more about the world to uncover who Kale was, why he needed you specifically to take over his body, and who killed his partner. And that's...
Do I have police station footage? That might help. Ooh, that'll be a good one. Picking some stuff off of a corpse sample. Let's... So this is about 620 in this one. Oh, gotta switch to trimmer. Oh boy. There we go. For the puzzle bit, maybe something from the end of the game. Park open a secret area or something. Oh, that's a good idea too. He did suddenly get stabbed in the neck. Yoshi did get stabbed in the neck. That did happen. Yeah, that park bit was where we thought the end of the game was. We were wrong. Ooh, I don't know if I have footage of that number solving puzzle. Where we were in the library? Is that the one you mean? If I had labeled my footage, I'd probably be able to find out.
And find clues and solve puzzles that reveal more about the world to uncover.
Okay, so I definitely got it. So let's get him arm
Find clues
moving.
and solve puzzles that reveal more about the world to uncover who Kale was, why he needed you specifically to take over his body, and who killed his partner. And that's
Gosh, that's such a dead space. Okay, I can.
was why he needed you specifically.
That's such an awkward thing. Okay, we're gonna cut out this big long section of dead nothing. Pun intended. There is a corpse there.
Why he needed you specifically to take specific.
Oop. Okay, I cut that the wrong spot. So I accidentally cut it there. So we're gonna go back to here. And we're gonna extend that.
He needed you specifically to take over his body.
There we go.
And who killed his partner. And that's, you know,
Wow, I'm looking at this item for a long time. Let's cut. To the examine. I want to see how that looks. I said I wanted one long chunk. This is me cutting it up, but whatever. Maybe just some footage going back. Oh, back and forth between. Old number puzzle with no audio. Just silence. Slowly building scream. You just hear.
take over his body, and who killed his partner. And that's take over his who killed his partner.
Okay, what I want is actually. I want to start here and spin.
Body, and who killed his partner.
Because that's gross.
And that's, you know, kind of right, but also wrong. You know, and who killed his partner. And that's, you know, kind of right, but also wrong.
Isn't that... What is that from? That clip that people use of the building scream of the person with their eyes, like, opened with tools. They're staring at a screen. They start screaming. I don't know what that's from. I just see it as a reaction meme.
And that's, you know, kind of right, but also wrong. These questions remain a through line as you progress, but the story...
It's probably something I hate, like Clockwork Orange or something. Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like it could be. Oh, welcome back, Tommy. So you barely survived IKEA? Oh my gosh. So dangerous in there.
These questions remain a through line as you progress, but the story gets... What?
Alright, so I need something for here. No, IKEA was okay? Oh, it was the Heavy Rain. Oh, dang. Oh, a different David Cage game. How appropriate. That almost killed me. Oh, dang. Like, it caused problems on the road, or like you almost drowned?
You know, kind of right, but...
I think I want to do so. I'm not sure what I want to do here. My thought for this part,
You know, kind of right, but also wrong.
is showing something and then maybe like making it askew and like doing some weird stuff to it. So I'm not sure what I want to do there yet. So I'm going to leave that blank. And I have this through line spot that I got to figure out what I want. Any of those wardrobes that contain a lion? Oh man, I'd buy that from IKEA. That sounds great. Also great that you're giving us a glimpse into your editing process. Oh, cool. Thank you. I think you were one of the people too that was curious about the editing process. So yeah, I figured I'd stream a little bit. And Devin's at work right now, so I'm not annoying her with my constant chattering. So now is a perfect time. I can understand barely surviving IKEA. Last time I was there, I learned your reaction from the scented candle section. Oh no! That's terrible. Blight, you've never been to IKEA? You should go. It's a trip. They have a veggie hot dog that's pretty good also in their like food court area. It's kind of good and I liked it. I eat meat, so I'm not like, oh, it's good for a veggie dog. Like that's like, as someone that eats hot dogs, I like hot dogs. It's a hot dog I would eat. It's tasty. Or Cinnabon, but that's Cinnabon's not worth it. Cinnabon is not worth it. It's like mediocre cinnamon rolls. Slightly more than mediocre. They're not amazing. They're just food. I eat meat, but I like some vegan food. Yeah, there's some really good vegan food. Like vegan, there's a vegan chili I make that is phenomenal. Because like as with meat food, it's more about the cooking and the spices. Like ground beef tastes bad if you just eat it. You gotta season it well. You gotta like give it the right texture, the right flavors, the right all sorts of things. Tofu, beans, I mean everything is like that. Okay, not everything, but lots of stuff is like that. So yeah, you really got you gotta cook it right, you gotta prepare it, and then it's delicious. That's what matters. Also, it's good to have variety in your diet. So if you can replace, I know like in America, there's so much meat-centric stuff. It's very helpful if you can replace some of that with another protein or another food. If we say IKEA a few more times, rumor has it Honey Money will be summoned. Are you going to include the F-bomb in the video? Because it's the only game that made you lose control. That is in the video, yes. That will be. That clip will be. Sorry, you said this, but your entire message was D dot. Was it really? Wait. Oh, you're just making a joke. I just want to make sure, because I'm reading this on the restream, and that doesn't always relay chat properly. And I was like, oh no, did something actually happen in Discordia? But no. Welcome to the show, Jesse editing Cookie Any Topic with Jesse. That's the show. I want to open a meat imitation restaurant called Meaty Okra. Mediocre. That's funny. I'd eat there. So we did say IKEA 3 times, and we have summoned Honey Money. Hey, Honey Money. Everyone say Swedish sausage 3 times. Will it summon lunch? Because I am unreasonably hungry right now and waiting on lunch. The only time I've ever heard a cinnamon was in a VTM podcast after a very troublesome evening. What? It's heard of a cinnamon. A Cinnabon? Discordia? Oh yeah, Cinnabon, there you go. Yeah, it's just mediocre cinnamon roll restaurant. I show up if people talk about RC. I wanted to play RC. I almost messaged you and Tommy to be like, I want to play Red RC. And it's like, but I have to do stuff. I can't right now. But I want to. Honey Bunny did pop up yesterday, and we were like, hey, and then muted, and then left. But that's okay. I assume whatever happened was important. And that is okay. I should also get back to editing my video.
You know, these questions remain a through line as you progress, but the story gets.
Alright, so I need some wild story stuff. Ooh, the corpses. I love this. See, these are things that I loved about the game. And these are also things that were early on. Like just this. This morgue. This was a cool puzzle. And it was a really cool way for future morgue to work. A lot of stuff like that is just real neato. Okay, that is like a oopsie. So we're just gonna delete that. That's another oopsie. Cool. That's me testing to make sure it's recording. Yeah, this guy. There's Peep Show. Oh, we never took over that guy's body. That's before we knew. Oh, there's the erotic poster. Oh, there's the arm twist. Someone clipped this and it made me really happy. Because I found it and I was like, ha! That's how I laugh, by the way. There's our erotic poster. Now available in thing. And there's the arm twist. It's really funny. Yes, I remember Mike, which I forgot. Had a video game on speaker. Oh, okay, so that's what we were hearing. That's what I thought, because I thought it was like something you were watching or playing or listening to. That's the audio we were hearing. Omnicron makes you wonder, is it art or is it cheese? I mean, as someone who loves cheese, why not both? Personal highlight of the game. The corpses. The corpse storage, really. But yeah, the corpses. The nip slip shirt. Erotic poster. Aren't we all excited for erotic poster? I am. Look at it. Amazing. Oh man. That's spine. That is some 90s comic book spine. Like just freaking whoop. Anatomically correct. Anatomically impossible, I believe. Oh, yeah. Okay, this would be a good clip. At the strip club. Walking up. That's 1411. So this was sex shop, strip club, murder. Alright, so that's what we're going to name this. So this is Peep Show, sex shop, strip club, murder. And now I don't change that. Or it'll get mad at me. Oh shoot, what did I say? Was it 7? 7 something? Nope, that's definitely wrong. Alright, where's go scrub through? There we go. Let's check up on the chat. Oh, you've been chatty. I've missed a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I put the erotic thing as an emote. I think it's on one of the tiered subscription things because I don't have a lot of slots, but I wanted to fill them all. Nothing hotter than scoliosis. She's got curves in all the wrong places. Hell at Loose stream with Casey and Nick taught me that Nick was in a strip club twice. And once got spanked. Whoa, with his own belt. Dang, bold move. Omnicron, VTM, and other older games you've enjoyed, which featured strip clubs. Man, other older games that I've enjoyed that featured strip clubs? I don't remember. Those two do. Wait, is there a strip club in VTM Bloodlines? There's the goth club that I do love. Is there also a strip club? I mean, there probably is. The whole Blood Rain was a strip club. Yeah, she just uses dudes as a pole. Strip enemies of their limbs. That's true, she does. Viveris, it's Vivi's place. Oh, okay. It's few in Hollywood. Oh. I'm too much of a prude. I probably didn't go to them. Troubadour Vampire, only strip clubs. Like, close. There's a bit with the stripper. Oh, that's right. There's like a... there is a part of VTM like that. Like, you're at, like, a... Oh, they have a name. Where it's like the personal viewing room porn stores. And then a vampire hunter busts through the glass and tries to kill you. Or is that like a Yoshi Dies thing? And I'm just making that up, thinking it's a real memory. What's up, VidKid? Yeah, I'm doing some editing. Some people had asked about the editing process, so I figured I'd stream a little bit of it today. Yes, that was a bit weird. Okay, so I'm not wrong. I think they called themselves Chastity. All right, so I like this bit with this back and forth, so we're gonna clip that, drop that in.
You know,
Whoops.
these questions.
That's a section I'm not sure what's going there, so.
These questions remain a through line as you progress, but the story gets...
Gosh, I have such long pauses between doing so. Oh, and he teleports. Okay, that's good. We're just gonna cut right to that.
You're gonna...
Personal viewing room. Erotic Shocks? Not sure the proper name for them aside from I gotta clean this up. Enjoy it. I love those polygon clubs. Gonna save a heart tattoo in their chest. Like on, does it show their health? Like in Jurassic Park Trespasser? It's my second favorite older game. What's your... Oh, I was gonna say what's your first, but it's obviously Skies of Arcadia. In the new episode of Behind the Pole, Jesse discusses how many polygons are too many. Is Behind the Pole a real show? Because that's a hilarious name. Because it sounds like a Looney Tunes hiding spot.
Wrong. These questions remain a through. Wrong. These questions remain a through line as you progress, but the story gets wild. Like, you're gonna be blown.
Okay, so I'm curious if I have any footage on me at the bridge. Oh my gosh, sometimes I forget what people look like. I love Buff Baby and Cold Shoulder Romper. Yeah, like Hammer Space, kind of, but it's the hiding space, whatever that's called. Slightly different than Hammer Space, but similar idea. It sounds like a Polish person. If someone's standing behind them, behind the pole. The Red Pope. It is Blueberry Man. Whoa! That mouth. Alright, so Red Pope. Jerk. Oh man. Just so much. I'm just gonna put Red Pope Buff Baby. Red Pope Buff Baby. I forget what that section of the level was called, or that section of the game is called too, so I can't put that on there to help me more. Okay, there's some camera movement. Can I... Oh, is he vomiting? What's happening there? I like that starting close-up. So let's do...
You know, kind of right?
Oh, shoot. I did that wrong. I need that back. There we go.
Audience to visiting hell. Wild.
Alright. See his blue? Had to make sure of that. Ooh, that was a long clip, though. I love the term hammer space, by the way. Yeah, it's a great term. I read a comic book called Blue Man vs. the Red Pope by Robert Kirkman. What is your take on strip clubs in Sweden where everyone goes to the sauna? They don't make sense, right? I want to know how common is public sauna? How do you write a script for your vids? What time of the day? What do you do to get into the right mindset? Ooh, good question. I'll answer that after I finish catch up chat. We have strip clubs. I've never been to one though. I mean, I assume also Finland we're more known for saunas. I assume like it's a very different setting. Like, I mean, the like purpose of a strip club is very different than the purpose of a sauna. So, yeah, I feel like that would play a big difference. Like, what's the difference between a restaurant and a buffet? You could just go behind the counter and eat all the food that they have that they're going to prepare for you like a buffet. And it's like, well, I mean, technically, yes, but that's not the the reason you go there. I guess that's a terrible example, but that's what I'm going with right now. I think Scandinavians are overall more comfortable with being nude around other people. I'm more comfortable than Americans. That's probably true. Americans are wildly uncomfortable people. It is sad. One makes you feel clean, the other makes you feel dirty. We have full frontal male male noodle. Male nudity on TV shows without issue. Oh, that sounds great. We have that with minor, like a few shows, like Spartacus. If you haven't watched Spartacus, it's a great show. Also, a lot of swinging dongles. Probably the most close to having an equilibrium of male and female nudity in a show that I've ever seen. I mean, there's definitely still more naked ladies than dudes, but surprising amount of naked dudes. I guess not surprising, but there's a lot of naked dudes. Also, really good show. First 3 seasons, fantastic. 4th season is there. You can watch it for ripped, naked, buff dudes, or you can watch it because it has a great story. And really good acting. There's one strip club just down the highway from here. It's supposed to have the best steak in the state. What state? Because I know places like Oregon, or not Oregon. Oregon? I think it's Oregon. Have like, their strip clubs are like super themed. They have like several vegan strip clubs and like specific, like, I think there's some that have like visual themes too. Because that's how things are there, apparently. Depends on where you are. That's true. I feel like generally in America, though, pretty uncomfortable with nudity. I don't have a problem with male nudity as long as it's not me. I'm not beach ready. Full frontal male noodle. Hey, it's ya boy. Yeah, I'm editing. Well, right now I'm talking with chat, so doing a lot less editing, but noodle tea. Yeah, noodle tea. Full frontal male noodle tea. Or just full frontal noodle tea. Plus joining with full frontal male noodle was a joy. I'm glad we could bring that to your life, Will Boy. I think the U.S. is very Christian. You're not wrong there. So you care more about those kinds of things. Oh, man. I mean, there's a lot to unpack in that sentence, honey money. Whew, man. Just. Whew. Ooh, that's so loaded. Packed to the brim with context and meaning and ability to unpack. If it's about my male noodle, then no, you can't ask. It's funny. Pulling two, I hate being nude. Problem is I work in the military and soldiers have no problem with that. Really? Not a sentence I expected to hear. Vegan strip club? Yeah. I forgot about the food. No, we're playing BF4 for game night stream? Yeah, that's where we're actually playing BF4 right now. So many versions of Christianity, I can't keep up. Yeah, me either. Like, it's... I don't want to get started on that. There's so many. Full frontal noodle means the same thing in my book. Poland is Catholic? I didn't know that. Like more Catholic-y? That's like their main Christian-based religion, which I should say is Christianity is a Catholic-based religion, because like that came first. And they were like, here's how we think it's different. Let's give it a name. And then people were like, yeah, Christianity, but like, let's call it baptism. Baptist Christian. Well, I'm a Orthodox Methodist Christian, whatever. It's if you want to know more, you can ask some specifics because it's something I know a little bit about just from growing up in that environment. But and then there's non-denominational, which is saying bump denominations like Baptist, and Methodist. We're non-denominational. It is absolutely a denomination, just like all the other ones. And then there are specific non-denominational ones, like, oh, well, we're Old Testament denomination, or we're this denomination. It's an absolute rabbit hole. Again, grew up in. I'm not sure there are vegan strip clubs here. At least Portland had one of the highest. Yeah, that was it. Portland. That's what I was thinking of. Because, yeah, they do have one of the highest. And that's one of the reasons they theme so hard. Yeah, it was a case of too late. Oh. I've just met a few people who actively go to church and talks about their faith. For me, it's more rare than someone who's the bird just go? What the heck was that? That was a weird bird, if that's what that was. No, I don't blame the US for Puritanism. That's all Europe. Who then moved over there? Well, that's interesting. Roman Catholic is a denomination. I mean, definitions. Ugh. We can't lump all Europe together. Most denominations in the U.S. are Protestant, I think. I'm not sure about that one. We went from strip clubs to religion in 10 minutes. Ain't that how it goes? They're linked. Strip clubs and religion are definitely linked. This is taking twice a turn. Sweden has more pagan traditions. Makes sense. I think I'll be the whole U.S., but yes, indeed. U.S. is a big place. Probably too big. So I found out that you've played Dominions 4. How did you locate that game? Oh, man. VidKid, I have played Dominions 4. Did you look at my website? I'm curious how you found out. A friend of mine really liked it and told me all the stories that he got from playing it, like the units that survived and what ailments they had, and that people would fear them, and like all the stories about them, and that totally intrigued me, and so I bought it and played it. And he tells better stories than the game tells. So I like hearing him tell me about Dominions 4. I played it and was like, yeah, I could see how you could make up a story about this unit that survived. I'm not going to, though. But I did like it. I thought it was cool. I don't like strategy games, but that's one I liked a lot more than most. So it's kind of recommended for me. It's pretty cool. U.S. is basically 50 smaller countries. All kind of get along. Yeah, kind of. Virginia and West Virginia are wildly different despite being next to each other. Yeah, they are. Oof. Also, just different parts of Virginia. Like, I mean, once you get like where we're at, close to DC, very different part than the further west, closer to, what are we next to? Kentucky? Tennessee? Closer to that. Very different. States can wildly differ too. I wouldn't be allowed to wear my normal work clothes, jeans and polo. If I was in certain parts of the East Coast / South, I mean, are your genitals exposed? I'm curious why what about this uniform is so wrong. It's I think that's more of a business law than a state law. I think. Insightful. I'm not sure. I might be straight up wrong. But I don't think there's state laws on it. Actually, I take that back. You might be right, because there might be some stuff with like specific industries where they don't allow shorts or, something specific like that. Poor Jesse can't work because of us. I mean, that was the risk I took doing it on a stream instead of doing it on my quietly all by myself. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, Europe is a heck of a lot more diverse than the US. I would not be surprised. Again, you're dealing with multiple countries versus states. Not sure why we're arguing about this. I think most of the world thinks the U.S. is quite Christian. Not counting maybe L.A., New York, Poland, Portland. Not Poland. That's not part of the U.S. and so on, but definitely the South. Yeah, the Bible Belt. And if you called it Christian, you're not wrong. But it is, as with anything, when you're dealing with something as large as that, is it's of course an oversimplification, but Christianity is such a huge part of our current makeup of the country, and not necessarily in the number of citizens that believe it, because that number has been declining more and more and more and more. But that our laws are built around a lot of that. Our defense of certain laws are built around Christianity and Christian values. And there was another point I was going to make. Oh, and that the identity has been skewed into that we are Christian. And that we've always been. And that's fucking not the case at all. But that is the public persona that a lot of people like to put on, and that we talk about, and that is entrenched in our language. Which is unfortunate. Oh, okay. No, yeah, absolutely cultural. Yeah, that just from state to state again, that can insightful. That I totally understand that. It can be a lot. Oh, my brother played it and I got into it, and then when I clicked on it, it said you played it. Oh, okay. My favorite part was the spellcaster that achieves heroic stupidity. Stuff like that is what makes Dominions 4 really fun, BitKit. And I really like that you can win just through religion. And you make everybody else, you could convince everyone else to denounce all of their gods and you win. That's fun. The actual process is not fun, though, for me. But the idea of it, super fun. I work with people from the U.S. Def, it's a very diverse group. Yeah. I mean, as are lots of places. Aren't most or all politicians religious in some way? Yeah, that's a big part of politics. That you have to cater to the religious crowd in America. Oh my gosh. Messages are coming. Yes, Honey Money. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't make me start talking about this. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah. Politics and religion. Yeah, you don't have to be religious, but, you have to be religious. And you have to be like a denomination of Christianity. And then you will be flogged verbally for your denomination. Like Joe Biden is Catholic, and so people are like, well, he's not a good Christian because he's Catholic. And Catholics are bad. And then Catholics will be like, but he doesn't want to kill people that agree with abortion rights, so he's a bad Catholic. I'm a good Catholic. Like, it gets so specific about stuff that like people go freaking bonkers over it. I don't think they technically have to say what their faith is, Honey Money, to get elected, but like if we ever had a atheist president, I would be very surprised if we had, because I think it's also meaningless. I mean, Donald Trump said he was a Christian. That's stupid. Like, just unreasonably stupid. But yeah, it's part of the cultural makeup, and there's such, oh my gosh, this is such a deep rabbit hole, because then you have the things where it's like the cultural mindset where you can't trust people who aren't of the godly faith of some sect of Christianity, because without God there's no morality. So anyone who is an atheist or is a Christian that's different from you, they are inherently bad because they have no conscience. They have no ability to feel remorse. They believe the wrong stuff, and they will go to hell when they die, and they'll be terrible to people while they live. They'll turn on you in an instant. They have it like that's preached, that is told, that is shown so often in like the Christian community. It's gross. I've not been, my thing hasn't moved, so I've missed so much chat. I can see that thing getting bigger and bigger. Like blight, they're not supposed to be, but yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, almost all politicians are publicly religious. Nearly impossible to get elected. Yeah. Puritans didn't make it as far west, so it becomes more diverse. Probably true. I mean, that's kind of true, but then you have places like Texas, which is, and Oklahoma, which is pretty far west. But what case you're very different from I think to the outside world, the U.S. is a whole sensing that we are religious, and when the president often says "God bless America," yeah, absolutely, you are correct, Honey Bunny. And is that something on your money too? Yeah, I think we have in God we trust on our money. Of fucking course, it's PR and catering to the outside world. Yeah. So strip clubs and male nudity on TV. How about that, folks? Oh, Billy, it's funny. Oh, yep, Insightful got it. We have In God We Trust. Yeah, that's the thing. It was put on like the 80s, but it's treated as something as if like our money has always had that. That's that, what I was talking about, that ingrained sort of, this is our cultural makeup. We've always been this way, but that's horse shit. Like, it's not true, but that's the thing, is that it's portrayed that way. Separation of church and state is a thing, yeah, that we don't respect at all. Heathens hadn't wandered onto our lands yet. Sorry, Jesse, it's super complicated. It's fine, honey money. That's a thing a bad Christian, yeah, has. Blake says I'm an outright atheist in the South, so it can get rough and way more noticeable. Yeah. Like the not only in like the region or state, like region as in South or state as in particular, but also like the city you live in. Like especially something like I was saying in Virginia, so like way more liberal out here on the east side, really close to DC. But if you start going further west, you're hitting way more conservative territories. And so what you believe and what you say, how you look, all of that is going to matter in vastly different ways. Nope, still haven't caught up yet. Honeyboy says, I don't think God is mentioned in anything in our culture. Interesting. That's so far removed from the American method of like, we gotta cram that in everywhere. I had to check the In God We Trust was added in the 50s. Oh, okay. All right. My statement still stands. It's just 50s, not 80s. Got it. Why'd they even do that? Oh man, I think it was to show that we're the best because we're good with God, the one God, the only God, the Christian God. So I think that's why. Because the country is founded on the backs of fear and brainwashing. Yeah, you're not wrong. Should have stuck with E pluribus udum. Oh man. All right, I caught up. Ooh. After my rant, finally came back. Scotland has a good motto. Is it "We hate the British"? What's Scotland's motto? Someone added something in the 1910s about mentioning God, but it's never sung. That's funny. What does that mean, Discordia? I'm very curious. Or I'll just pop it into Google Translate. Yeah, it is often treated like a club, which is the opposite of what it should be, especially when you're dealing with something that, is supposed to be Christianity, where you're like, hey, this is supposed to be built on the teachings of Jesus, which were about accepting. Uh, no one provokes me with impunity. Fun. But that even saying that it's, built on Jesus is a particular branch of Christianity, because the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament and how like God and Jesus deal with things and people are vastly different. So that's why if someone's like, yeah, I am totally a Christian and I believe in doing these horrible things because God did that, and then people being like, WTF, I'm a Christian and I believe this because Jesus said this. So, like, you can have people trying to argue, use the same book and using the same character, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, which are all one, sort of, but are also different. That's the thing. To try and argue different points and back up their belief in why they do what they do and think what they do. Jesse, didn't you grow up Christian, if I may ask? I think you mentioned it once. You are absolutely welcome to ask. Yes, I did. So, again, like I said, grew up in this culture. And, like, I definitely have a different opinion of it now than I did growing up, or even I did 10 years ago. But like, I don't know, still, I think there are good things about parts of it. Jesus threw the moneylenders out of the temple. He was anti-capitalist. Yeah, that's a big thing. Also, a thing that gets me is like the don't use the Lord's name in vain, and people are like, that means you shouldn't swear. It's like, it also means you shouldn't be a freaking televangelist telling people to mail you money, because then God will give you money for tithing. That's horse hockey, and you know it. But that's using God's name in vain. It's Let's striving to avoid explaining the Trinity. Yeah. Yeah, big. Billy, just what you said, it's a superiority over others is a big part of it. And that is a big problem. Religious people who think gay people end up in hell are butts. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a statement I can put in the chat rules. Yeah, I personally think there's more to our existence than just what we are now. Exactly what that is, I don't know, but I think that built on being compassionate, being helpful, trying to help everyone that you interact with to make their lives better, so hopefully they'll make other people's lives better. And then you try to do what you can to change the system again, to make more people's lives better, be more accepting, more understanding, and build a better world for everyone. And that maybe that'll have direct influence on what comes after, because I don't think that our existence ends here, but what's next, I'm not exactly sure. So I think that having faith in something isn't bad. Well, unless what you have faith with is, like being butts. That's not good. A set of rules try to live by different others. Yeah. Yeah, a set of rules to try and live by, to be decent to others. Yeah, that's a good definition of good faith. Not quite agnostic. I feel like that's too broad a term, but I'm not going to claim I know what's going to happen. I have, some beliefs, but not like I don't know. It's weird and it's way beyond us. Go to heaven for the climate, hell for the company. Jesse now reveals he's Wiccan. No. I do love all the moon imagery, though. Oh, I have a text message? Oh, yeah, I got a text message. Lunch is coming soon. Heh. David and I are gonna eat lunch. She had to go to work today. They have limited return to office stuff. So. She'll be coming back. That's about lunch. Yep, it is. Jesse's an Orthodox Jew. He hides his curls well. I can't hide these curls. If I did grow these, that's okay. So that's a thing. I really enjoy the like long where it's like you have a mohawk and then you just have bangs that come down, or not bangs. Bangs are up here. These like the like chops that just cut. It's not mutton chops because mutton chops are this, but it's like this part. It's like really long and you can hang it down. I think that looks really cool. And I couldn't do that because my hair is like this, and it would just be like that if I tried to do that. And that's not the look I'm going for, so I'll just leave this. If he, Wiccan is probably the closest to my philosophy. If ye harm, none, do what ye will. I missed lots of this dude cleaning up the workspace today. Oh, the rest of this chat? That's okay. Yeah, the governor just fully opened everything over here. Oh, wow. Work is announced he's going least restrictions. They're still requiring masks, though. That's good. Masks still helpful. What's like the quarantine rate over there? Quarantine. What's like the vaccine rate over there? Because I think like in our area it's pretty good, and then like some states are not doing well, and apparently there's the Delta strain, and that's spreading through faster through areas where there's not quarantine. Yikes. Death atheist. I've looked into Buddhism and Christianity a bit. I didn't know your mom was a practicing Buddhist. That's interesting. It's cool. Atheism is a religion in a way, anyway. I mean, kind of. It's a system of beliefs. So, yeah, kind of. Only about 50% fully vaccinated. Ah, shoot. I'm curious what Virginia's is, because I bet our area is good. But I don't know if it's... I just need a map? No? You just give me a map of like population percentage. No? You're not gonna? Okay. I guess I'll find that later because I don't really want to look all over it now. When all else fails, play dead if you worship possums. Oregon has a lot of anti-vaxxers. Oh, really? I thought that wouldn't be a big problem in Oregon, but shows what I know. That's me just making broad stroke assumptions. I don't not believe in a higher power, but I doubt I'll find out what it is during my lifetime, so I don't try to quantify it. I do enjoy hearing others' faces and ideas. Yeah, I'm kind of how I feel. I definitely believe in something, but like the specifics get fuzzy. Someone find a box for me. The proponent of absurdism. Well, thanks for coming to my religious talk, everybody. Oh, you think we wouldn't, but Oregon Portland article attracts both. Alternative medicine is the only way to go crowd and a lot of fringe types like anti-vaxxers. That makes sense. That does make sense. Issue with religion is people interpret it differently. Yeah, that's a big thing in religion. I mean, that's kind of the whole, like, also talk about Buddhism, but also, like, within the Christianity of, like, well, we're Baptists, we're this, we say we're Baptists, but we believe this thing that a bunch of Baptists don't believe. Like, what is it, Southern Baptists? There are certain Baptists that believe dancing is a sin. And so if you're a Baptist and you dance, like, you gotta say that. Be like, well, but we don't do that dancing thing. Or like, yeah, but dancing's fine. We're not like those weird Baptists. It's weird. Can't really get behind something that has rules, but those rules aren't always the same. Makes sense, Honey Money. I also don't believe in a higher power. Well, fair. Jesse's chats are so weird. I know. I came on to do some editing, and this has happened. I'm so hungry. I'm easily distracted though. So, what did I get? I'm like a little over a third of the way through with some gaps in between. So it's actually not a terribly unproductive editing day. Rules is based on beliefs, not rules. The moment it is, it corrupts. Monotheism always has an inherent arrogance to it. Yeah, Discordia. That's something that I had to kind of get over, coming from a Christian background where it's like, well, we have it all right. And it's like, I'm not sure I believe that anymore. Like, that it does have some real arrogance attached to it. Push the chat in a weird direction. The philosophical definition of sandwiches. No. I refuse to have a philosophical discussion of sandwiches, of the definition of sandwiches. Only if it's tasty. Only, is it worth eating? Cool. Who cares what it is? Unless if it's people, then you shouldn't eat it. The rule of Twitch is that chats always suck. Really? Is that a rule? That's weird. I don't do a lot of twitching because I am very busy. So most of the twitching I do is when I am the one streaming. And all the chats that, I've been able to talk to have been really cool. Because you all are fun. And that makes it neato. Also, Jesse, on a completely different note, did you and Lampy talk about the encoding for the stream? No, we haven't talked about that yet. I was going to get to that, and then I was like, but I gotta start editing. And I was like, well, I could stream the editing, and then here I am. So I'll probably look at, unless Lampy sends me something, I will try and look it up on like YouTube first before I bother him about the specifics. Him? I don't know. All right. What time is it? 2:30? All right. I have to go. I got to eat. You'll have to continue talking about religion or whatever you want. Probably elsewhere. I don't know how long chats stay up after I stop streaming. But thanks everybody for coming and having me rant about American religion and politics for a while. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will try to have a nice lunch. I bet I will. It's Popeyes. Let's flood tonight's escapist stream with faith and politics discussion. Oh, no. Oh, man. That just sounds like a lot of work for Honey Money or whoever's going to be modding. Sushi's a sandwich. Oh, we're not talking about sandwiches. Yeah, you are modding. Yeah. It's easier in this when there's what, 14 people here, I think. So it's pretty easy to keep an eye mostly on it. Oh, and it's CP. Oof. No, don't torment Honey Money and whoever will be streaming with Yahtzee with that. That's not going to end well. The Superior Chicken Restaurant. It's a good one. There's actually one that's even better. There's a local chain called Woo Boys. Oh, man. It's so good. Oh, it's like the best fried chicken. But Popeyes is also really good. And sometimes I want the corporate fried chicken instead of the local fried chicken. Like today. But oh man, if you're ever in the Nova area, go to Woo Boys. Treat yourself. It's delicious. All right, I'm done talking about food. Thanks everybody for coming. Really appreciate it. Someone on that I can raid. Blitz raided me, so he's probably not back on. I don't know. If someone has a suggestion, cool. If not, I'm just going to end. Abruptly. Male noodles. Okay, fine. I'll stick to strip clubs and male noodles on TV. Full frontal noodle tea. Bad guy noodle bowl. I do like full frontal noodle tea. That is... that and Yoshi dying are gonna make me chuckle for like the next week, possibly longer. Noodle tea, no noodle tea, like dash ly, not TEA. Although noodle tea, not a bad term. Is that a Flying Circus episode? Noodle tea is just ramen. Oh, man. Yeah, it sounds like broth. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's noodle. Well, but like... But that's like noodles in a tea versus like... The noodle tea would be like starch water. Like when you boil noodles and then when you drain it and you have that like murky, starchy water, would that be noodle tea? I don't know. These are philosophical questions that are far too big for me. I am just a humble editor. It's not here yet, so I can't eat, but I am going to stop streaming so I can prepare myself for food. I'm going to have to do a painting of Yoshi's grave now. Yeah! Make that one, and then make full frontal noodle tea. Sorry, Harmer, to figure out Jesse's next stream. The Yoshi dying thing gets me. All right, thank you, everybody. Oh, Catfish! Yo, Slow Clap Justin lives rent-free in my mind, and Catfish is to thank for that. Once I figure out how to get the the sound alerts, but with the like video clips, I absolutely want to have a video clip of Slow Clap Justin doing his slow clap. That episode is hilarious. Gosh. She's a model. You can absolutely tell. My partner got me into Catfish and we've watched a few seasons. You can absolutely tell when the person is like male or female identifying as the catfish because of the pictures they use. Like, if it's a dude, it's like way more revealing pictures. Oh, she's here. I'm leaving. Bye.